Well, this turned out to be one heck of a day. I'll tell you what happened. Well, after I made that video where I showed you my mom's picture, then me and my husband got to talking about how I like to order stuff from Temu. And I said, well, I wish I need more money, in my disability account. I don't get much for disability. And he said, well, go to the bank and have them get you a card just to use, where you can use it just for that, a regular bank card. And he said, I'll put some money in it now and then, you can use that. So, okay, so I went to the bank and explained to them what I wanted, what I was wanting it for, and all this and that. And she did come up with a bunch of paperwork, and I signed a bunch of stuff. She gave me a card, and it was strange looking card. But she said, that's it. What do I know about that stuff? So took the card and went home, and so I tried to set that card up with my Temu account so I could do some shopping, and it just wouldn't work. That card, something wasn't right. And we just had and so he was trying to use our regular checking account cards. They wouldn't work either. So that lady did something wrong. So we're going to have to go back to the bank together when he's having a short day at work, so we can both go together at the bank, try to straighten it out. He can't use his card for anything. It's not working now. And my card that goes to the same bank account, it won't work either. It's just some kind of a mess. Well, while I was there at the bank, it was taking her a long time, so I just sat there, just waited. And there's this guy that we know. He's something else. I tell you, I don't know how to describe him except that he's some kind of a dork. And he's always flirting with women and trying to get girlfriends everywhere he goes. He talks a lot of nonsense, silly nonsense, just a bunch of bull. So stupid you can't hardly stand it. Well, he was in there and he was talking to the lady that was supposed to be doing my card. He was talking back and forth to her and to this other lady over here and talking all that bull. And they was listening to him, and they should have ignored him and got on with their job. It might be why she messed up all this stuff with our cards. She was listening to him, wasn't paying attention to what she needed to do. And he stood there and went on and on and on and on and on with his nonsense for the longest time. Finally, he left, and I had my back. I was about halfway turned around where he couldn't see my face, because I know him, he knows me, and I did not want him talking to me. And he didn't know that was me sitting there. And so anyway, he went on, and then I had to wait a while. She doing more stuff with my paperwork and going over here and over there in the bank, doing whatever she's doing. And then after a while, he came back in. And he went to yakking at them gals again, just yakety, yak. That old stupid nonsense. Trying to be a ladies' man. Talking the awfulest dumb stuff you ever heard. Well, anyway, she finally got my stuff done, and so I could leave, and I turned around and I walked out there as fast as I could. I did not want him to recognize me. I went out the doors. So I went out the doors and then come around the building like this, going towards our pickup, and his pickup truck was parked right there, kind of close to the doors. And I heard a puppy yelping and carrying on. And when I looked in there was a half-grown dog in the back of his pickup truck right out there in that hot sun, and it over 100 degrees. That puppy was just crying and yelping. Oh, it just made me feel so bad. I thought, my God, that dog is back there in the sun just suffering. Made me so mad because him standing in there flirting with them gals. Well, I went on to my truck, got in there, and came back home. And before I went in the house, I sat out there in the truck, and I called 911, and I told them about the dog in the back of that truck, and I said, that's Scotch truck, Scotch. And he owns that truck and that dog. And he's in there yakking to them gals, and his puppy's out there in the back in the heat, yelping and crying. And that dog needs to be rescued. They said, okay, they'll go look into it. I'd sure like to know how much longer he was in there, and if he was still there when the cops showed up to check on his dog. I'd sure like to know what happened with that. I tell you what, I was just so mad. Oh, my God. Oh, I was mad. If I'd have seen him outside of that bank, I would have told him a thing or two. I would have told him. I wasn't going to go back inside the bank and make a scene inside the bank. Maybe I should have, but I went on to the house and called the law. My God, I felt so sorry for that dog. My God. What is wrong with people like that? What's wrong with them? Needs his ass kicked. That's what it needs. He's ridiculous. I'll tell you how ridiculous he is. A few years ago, just a few years back, me and my husband went to visit the Cowboy Church, because we know the guy that preaches there is a real nice guy. We like him a lot. So we went to visit the church there one day, and old Scott was there. And guess what? He went up to the preacher and said he wanted to sing a song. Okay, so the preacher said, all right, because, figured he's going to get up there and sing a gospel song. Okay. So Scott got up there on the stage. It's a real small stage at a real small church, real tiny church. He got up there. He did not sing a gospel song. You will never guess what he did. He got up there and started singing a Lionel Richie love song. I'm not kidding you. He started singing a love song. And you should have seen everybody in that church. Everybody was real still, and everybody was like, couldn't believe it. And the preacher looked like he was just mortified. He had no idea that Scott was going to do that. And Scott, there was this gal this other gal, she was visiting the church. And she was sitting there, back there wearing a mini skirt. And him and her left together before the church services was half over. So you know what they left for. Her in that miniskirt and him a womanizer. Oh, crazy. Crazy. Oh. It's almost funny. Oh, I mean, and so that took up so much of my time, having to mess with going to the bank. And then I came back and I had to wash the dishes. And my husband came home not long after that, and he brought in 2 great big stainless steel dog food bowls. Nothing wrong with them. He had found them at the dump. So I washed them up and washed them real good and clean. And I put a bunch of drinking water and some ice cubes in there with it so it cool it off. Put outside for the cats and the birds because it's so hot out there, so hot. I put them 2 bowls full of water out there under the tree. And then, of course, I told my husband what all happened at the bank and how their cards are all screwed up. And he was making phone calls and trying to use the cards, and they wouldn't work. None of our bank cards will work. You know, that woman did something wrong. Oh, it's something wrong. She should have ignored that stupid guy and paid attention to her job. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe. Just crazy. I'm sure in this small town, I'm sure the cops know who he is. And I just wonder what they think of him, and I'm so curious what all happened when they went to check on that dog. I'm sure they know who he is, and I'm sure if they didn't catch him at the bank, they contacted him somewheres to inquire about the dog. God, crazy. You can't make this stuff up. Truth is stranger than fiction. So my Temu package did come in today. And I opened it up and then looked at the contents, and I've got some of those silicone molds. One of them is for an egg shape, and one of them is for a simple ashtray, and there's 2 of them. I don't know why I ordered 2 sort of large size skulls, and they're real